the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 339. Tuesdays, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorgat Sorgatron on the social medias and at the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I remember the intro. Yay! This is the Wrestling Mayhem Show in our 18th. Well, I guess this is our 19th year. 18. We turned 18. Sure, I guess that's how it works. Started in 2006, a show where it's all about pro wrestling fandom, and some of us just kind of work on things around professional wrestling and stuff now. So, anyways, with us, first of all, probably the only one here that doesn't work in professional wrestling in some capacity is Dave Podner. He has a podcast about iPhones and photography, though, at the iPhoneography podcast. Sure. You're a resident.
Why not? Yeah.
Listen, we need a resident fan that is not involved in anything for just like the general hot takes. We need your fan uninformed hot takes to help level out the show, Podner. Hey, that's your role
I
today.
I can give 100%.
Yes.
Uninformed hot takes.
Even Riz is like working graphics and video these days, and is just scared of everything. But you know that's Riz. But no, I'm just happy.
Well, someone could step on Riz.
People often step on Riz, like physically. So he's tiny. So Dave, thank you for joining us for the first show of the year.
Always glad to be here.
Of course, we got a mic out there. Intern John is back with us. We did not scare John away over the holiday. Did not contemplate not coming back here. Appreciate it. So in the chat rooms, keeping things lively with you guys out there, wherever you may be checking the show. And we have our first guest of the year, officially. Let me get this right. I was sent a bio for this, and according to this, she's a 7-foot-tall muscle mommy who bathes herself in milk, honey, and Twinks. What's not to love? Lexus Synn.
Thank you, Sorg.
Back on the show. Now, you've been on the show before.
I was.
Some may not remember that because Glenn Spector was also on the show. So we're going to give you an opportunity to speak. You know, I know how that goes. Mm-hmm. I've been in the locker room with Glenn. Mm-hmm. I know how it goes. He's got some great energy. But by God, he's got some energy.
He does.
So you got a platform. You got a nice. I love it when our guests bring gold. What you got there for everybody on audio?
So I won the RSW Women's Championship like 2 days before Christmas.
Nice.
So Merry Christmas to me.
Somebody with a women's championship that is contested for, not in a volcano and not pink. I appreciate this.
Yeah, it's not pink.
So, you know, I mean, a little too on the nose. I appreciate a purple one, but I like the guys' titles are purple these days. Yeah. But anyways, no, thank you for joining us, and we'll let people know who you are instead of just part of a giant faction.
Yes, I am the only one in the faction that can spell. So
that is true. I do, but you're part of the troublemakers with Glenn Spector and the other guys.
Kanan and Carter.
Kanan and Carter. Thank you. I'm sorry. It's just blank for them. Listen, it's been a little bit since I've seen him at a show, so it's not heavy on my brain. But although we did just post all the APWF stuff for the last show,
I saw
all
that.
you
I was
guys
like,
were on.
oh, fantastic! I have film.
Yes, exactly. Happy New Year. It was the Happy New Year surprise was dropping all the APWF shows because I'm like, I don't know. It's been busy the last few months with stuff, right? So
can't wait to use these in another video.
Yes,
like highlight reel.
I did see the new highlight reel as well.
Yes,
so
can't wait to use it.
We'll get into the things and talk about what you're up to and everything. But of course, we want to kind of talk about the top news here to kick off the show. And apparently the news is streaming everything. Mm-hmm. Of course, last night WWE Raw debuted on Netflix. And then AEW debuted their Dynamite Collision on Max, including a lot of back content starting to come up there on Max too. So literally the world has changed. So let's start, of course, with the hot thing that's fresh on everybody's mind is, of course, WWE Raw on Netflix. This seemed to be, and I don't think a lot of people figured this going in because they really had to explain it to us. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that Monday Night Raw was being seen globally simultaneously.
Yeah.
Around the world. It's always a time shift. It's always like, oh, it's on Tuesday because we film it Monday in the States. There's rumors about when they go to England and things, they're just going to do it live on Netflix, whatever time that is for us in America. I was very happy because I actually boneheadedly I scheduled something for a podcast here last night that happened to involve wrestlers, so it actually worked. For another show. And then I got home. It probably started about almost 9:30 by the time I got home. It's like, I'm going to sit down and watch this. And I was able to pull the show up, bump it back to the beginning, and watched it without nearly any issue for the 3 hours. So friendly to time shifting. I didn't have to wait for the DVR to be done or wait for it to pop up on another website or something like that, that I'm paying for. It just was, it was so user friendly to get into it. Yeah. Let's go resident fan here. Dave Potter. So what was your take? I know you guys were in the chat room in the Mayhem Show group, and I'll keep an eye on the chat room on the Facebook because I know you guys are going to have some thoughts too. I was staying away from you guys because I didn't want to get spoiled on what was going on. What was your kind of vibe of the show last night as far as being on Netflix?
Honestly, it felt like a pay-per-view.
It really did.
It really did. Not only just the matches, but the fact that 17,000 people in an arena.
Oh yeah,
that's much bigger than a regular Raw. And the drone shots were just mind-blowing.
It was great.
They used it multiple times. They used it on entrances. And honestly,
after stuff too, like from after.
Oh yeah. And our TV downstairs is old. It's a 720 plasma, so it doesn't look, as clean as newer sets.
We have an old plasma in the back here that we watch the pay-per-views on in the studio. It looks gorgeous on our side. But we got a nice 1080 one, so yeah.
Well, that's the difference. You have a 1080, and so I pulled it up on the iPad, and the quality, and no streaming issues, no buffering, everything worked perfectly, and it just felt big. It just felt big. The opening where they projected the images on the sheets around the room.
Oh, that was so cool. And a lot of us had seen that promo already because they released it on social media like the day before, I think.
Yes.
So it was cool to see it in that context.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm glad about is they did not focus too much on the mat.
Yeah.
Because of all the advertising on it.
Yeah, it speaks for itself.
You're not going to lie.
Right.
And I know there's going to be complaints. Oh, there's these ads that WWE never used to do that looks cheap and things like that. I just watched 2 days overnight of Wrestle Kingdom, and that's what they do. And I don't even know what those say, right? A lot of those are brands. Fortnite is something that's very international, right? I also, how many commercials did we get last night?
Not that many.
We got significantly less commercials.
I guess with me is like, since with the MMA background, it's like very octagon-ish for me. And even with the octagon, I'm like, man.
Think about the company.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll get used to it. But like, even when the Prime bottles were on the mat and the turnbuckle pads, I was kind of at first like, like, okay.
I think it's just because we're used to WWE being such a clean product in the ring.
But I like the black canvas.
Yeah,
I dig a black canvas. Old NXT with the black canvas was my favorite.
And a blue one over on SmackDown too.
I have to get used to the blue one.
Yeah,
but I don't mind it that much.
New ref shirts.
I like the ref shirts too. I like the new they're like round, the microphone things. I think they're clean.
Everybody needs a refresh every once in a while. And I love that. And it was just everything they could do to represent, hey, what's something we've been doing for 20 years? Let's not do that anymore. How can we change things up? One thing that I think was an arena thing, dude, the lights in the stands.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was an arena thing or
that's an arena thing.
Okay,
because if you look at the seats, on the armrest of the seats, there's LEDs right underneath there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's an arena thing because they were on all the seats. Yeah. And I think every arena should do that because that is so freaking cool.
It was cool.
Yes.
To have synchronized lights that you could do in the seats. That was just amazing.
And I was confused because I'm like, oh, are they selling like, I've been to like Marvel Live where you get the bands that people or if you're in Disney, you have the Magic Band that will react to the shows that are happening in the crowd. And I was like, is it something like that? Or are they selling this now as part of this thing?
Mhm.
Or is it people's iPhones and an app? And it was like, oh no, like, after a while you're able to like see it because you're just sitting there watching the match and you see people sitting there with this like light beside them or whatever it is. So I just imagine it's just Intuit Dome kind of thing, right?
It was cool.
Yeah, and hopefully newer venues will do stuff like that too.
Yeah, Tina mentioned that the seats also come with chargers, she thinks.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's
of course.
lovely.
That's amazing. Scary chargers, but
But still a charger nonetheless.
Get your USB condoms, folks. So a hot tip from the Awesome Cast: never plug in your phone to a bare USB charger in an airport or publicly. That is bad news.
Yeah.
You're just gonna it's just like licking doorknobs. But anyways, I had a more colorful way to put that, but I decided to keep it safe tonight.
Yeah.
Anyways, from the chat room, Tina out there in Seattle is saying the camera definition pop, the drone shots were amazing. I think that's the thing too. Remember, I've noticed this because I've been DVRing NXT on the CW, which is on our local CW, which looks like crap. Looks like absolute crap on there.
CW doesn't look that bad.
Okay.
Maybe I don't pay that much attention though.
I'm a video guy, so
yeah,
it's just like I went from watching it, even just DVR'd from USA Network to being DVR'd off of our local CW, whatever it is now. It's the KDKA Plus. It is. I didn't realize that was a station until I started getting. I'm like, what the hell is this? I've seen it on the cars driving by, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's definitely noticeable now. Allegedly, I'm going to find out tonight, but I think we're pretty good. I think if you VPN, ExpressVPN, I should really get an affiliate for that for this podcast. But you can just be Canadian tonight and watch NXT. Okay. If you have Netflix, is one way to look at it, and they don't care. They're getting their money, and you're seeing the ads.
They get money and they look this way.
Yeah, exactly. So they have not cracked down on that kind of thing. So. That I'm aware of, so I mean that's one way to do it. I have the option to watch the other way, but it's like let's just watch it on Netflix. So let's be Canadian for the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it really did pop. It felt like it was completely unfiltered. Like I don't know how many times I would see confetti and pyro on an Xfinity TV cable and just watch it fall apart. Like just watch all the digital blocking happening and everything. Yeah, this looked so crisp. It looked beautiful. The fans behind the thing, and I know they can't do this at every arena, but obviously it was amazing last night.
Behind the Titantron.
Yeah, behind the Titantron, how they were there.
How do you feel about that? Because I really like it. You fill up more seats. You don't have that big thing because like nobody watches the screens really when you're at the show. You look at the ring even if you can't see it that well.
Well, I see.
I don't.
Until you're up in the cheap seats in a
NFL
stadium, but
there's that. But like I'm saying, like in an enclosed, like regular, not a football stadium, just a regular stadium.
I think it's this is something they've been doing since Mania because they talked about that. I think they came out on Raw, which was another filled arena. And and Triple H said something about that's when he started talking about the video team and how they were trying a lot of new things. And they were like, we don't need to feature a giant screen. Let's feature the fans. And also they're in a position where they can fill arenas everywhere. Yeah. So let's show them off and let's put more. It's also a great financial decision.
That was my argument behind it was that there's a competitor that's not.
There's literally fans everywhere. There's
seats,
fans everywhere. John Cena said, "Oh my God, you're everywhere."
Yeah.
He's not used to that. He's used to like, well, we put like 8,000 people in here, and there's this giant set, so that takes out like 3,000 that we fill anyways. And we're blacked out of here, and there's nobody on hard cam that I'm looking at all night, and he's just like, you guys are everywhere. Yeah. Like that's new to him. Not new, but it was not always regular to him, even in his heyday.
Yeah, and I think they started it after I was seeing stuff from the other competitors' pictures on these social medias going around that can't fill.
Well, and there's, I mean, listen, AEW is not WWE, and that's okay. They're still not, still not going to arenas putting 1,000 people in an 8,000, 15,000, which TNA was notorious for.
Oh, absolutely. I think they actually scaled down. I think they actually realized they went from a bigger thing to now scaling down to just like smaller venues.
And also, and I think AEW, you know, this is a Ring of Honor problem that I always had too.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that Ring of Honor played in bigger venues.
Yeah.
When they started doing them at AEW, even AEW sized venues.
Yeah.
Like to me,
it should be a little
Ring of Honor
small.
at Stage AE.
It has to be like small and like kind of like elbow.
Yeah, exactly. At Hammerstein, you know, all those things. Those are the vibes. That is Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You know, Ring of Honor MSG. Okay, that could be something, you know, interesting. But and it seemed like that was also a really weird show they did with New Japan and everything. But I and even New Japan when they're doing like the smaller venues and stuff and not trying to like float things out and stuff, like such a cool vibe. When they can do that. So I think, you know, I would not put down AEW for not putting 15,000 people in the arena every week. You know what I mean? Like they're doing fine. Yeah. They're getting like 1.5 million every week for TV, apparently, allegedly. Online, right? They're doing okay. So let's put a pin in that for a second here, and we will talk about AEW and what they're doing. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends on patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can go support the show there and support Mayhem. We have exclusive content. We were on like 45 minutes early with the Patreon feed actually, and having fun with that here for a lot. I've had a lot of chatter going on there. But thank you everybody that is supporting the show at the fan show level. Boo diggity! Woo! As well as Team Hammerfist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer of the Triple B podcast and APWF, and Jason Franch at the Poppy Club level, Dave Profpod Bodner on the screen over here, Ratson and Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid, The Riz, and of course at the manager level, Bradley. You can go check out patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show and be part of the Mayhem as well. Thank you everybody that does support the show leading into 2025 here. And Jesse from Florida. Hey, shout out to Jesse Long, Team Hammerfist on the social medias for helping us out. You see the new logo? You like the new logo? That is a Jesse special. There's actually a nice part of the intro.
It's a sick logo.
It is a sick logo.
It's a clean logo, guys.
Nice and clean. We've been using just the random thing I threw together in Photoshop for about 20. It feels like almost 20 years.
Listen,
so
Photoshop works sometimes.
But it was just like a random.
What did we just say? We were just talking about Netflix Raw. You need new things.
You need a refresh.
You need a refresh.
You see? So we've been doing that with a lot of stuff here, and I hope you guys appreciate the new visual look. I know if you're on audio, you don't give a shit because everything literally sounds the same. I used all the same voice tracks. So, anyways, no, something to refresh us. And sorry, I keep looking down here. I have something queued for later, and it's literally just Marco Narciso's crotch is the thumbnail, and
I love Marco.
It just keeps popping up Marco over here. I just need to scroll this off the screen. Shit,
why you don't want to see the full package?
It's just there. You don't see the full package? Out of the corner of my eye.
It's a full package,
and I already like dropped it in the chat room, and that was the same thumbnail, and they're just like, what's happening right now?
They're looking at a full package.
I was like, you work in wrestling. This is what we have to do.
From what's his name? The borderline indecent Marco Narciso.
Borderline
indecent.
I think he's crossed the border several times.
He's
personally.
just indecent.
He's just indecent at this point. Anyways, AEW is over on Max. This is actually a what they call it, simulcast on Max and TBS. What does that mean for you? That means you don't have to have cable to watch AEW. Sweet. That means I don't need a VPN and get a Triller account for AEW Plus. Sweet. Because Max is already included in my AT&T. But anyways, yeah. So which means, and if you don't have Max and you happen to be a DC fan, it's also a plus. Mostly unless you like the idea of a Batgirl movie. Anyways, at least there's Creature Commandos.
Such a good show.
It's a fucking good show, actually.
So good.
It's a really fucking good show.
I'll sit there with Noir and watch like clips on his TikTok, and it's just hilarious.
It's amazing.
He had to explain to me what it was. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Did you think the origin story of the Weasel would make you cry?
No,
not where I thought we'd go with this. No. Anyways, that's not what this is about. It's about wrestling, damn it. Because John Cena's in that, though. So AEW simulcast on Max. My biggest takeaway is, damn it, now I don't get picture-in-picture, and I get different ads. And also, everybody, let's be clear with the Netflix WWE thing as well as this, because people were kind of like, I don't want ads when I'm paying for Netflix. I was like, this is a new feature creature when it comes to streaming. They're going to put ads. It's live, it's simulcast, it's TV product, because I know they have NBA games and stuff on Max. You're going to need ads with those, you know what I mean? So that's part of it. AEW, while now they're on streaming, is a wholly different kind of more traditional package than what WWE gets to do on Netflix. WWE more or less gets to make up the rules to how they do advertising now. Why are there all those logos on the mat? You don't have nearly as many ads, right? It was a lot more tolerable. And get on the replay, you could skip the ads too. So that was nice. Same with the Max situation as well. I loved it. It was simple. Again, it was simple. I think the pre and post stream Max show is coming, show is ending is going to hypnotize me. Does anybody else have this issue with watching it? But no, it's good that that's an option. I don't mind that they've trimmed down and there's no Rampage, RIP Rampage. I love that they did basically Moxley literally killed Rampage. Like,
is that when he turned the lights out?
Yeah, he like.
I wonder what that was.
He went into the production truck and just said, "I'm ending this show. I'm killing it," and then like everything went off. And we're like, "Oh, he literally killed off Rampage."
Yeah, I have. So there was a funny story when I was working extras for AEW. We were our locker room was basically a production truck, just a truck. It was kind of cold. So it was me and Sean, I forget his last name, and I feel so bad because he was such a good guy. Junie Underwood was there too, but he wasn't in the truck at the time. So it was just me and Sean, and all of a sudden, here comes the Blackpool Combat Club just walking up. It's like, Mox is like, "Yeah, can we use this? 'Cause it looks very villainy." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right," and he just starts moving everybody's stuff and like kicks us out of the thing. And like they're cutting a promo, and like people are like moving trash and like had to turn the trash thing off. And then Nana comes over and she starts yelling. We had to be like, "Shush!" And then who else came over and started yelling? Someone came over and started yelling. We had to tell them to shush, like, because people just kept coming over and started yelling. And they had to cut it like 5 or 6 times because people kept yelling in the background. But yeah, they just kicked us out of the truck because they had like one light and it looked very like ominous and dark. And I'm like, okay. And like Wheeler Yuta took my chair and just was sitting in that chair. And I'm like, okay. Okay.
I like to see that AEW suffers from the same thing every other promotion I've been to. Because there was a thing was backstage at Ring of Honor one time working on our project and talking with somebody in the hallway, and then like Colt Cabana sticks his head out. I was like, "Shh, we're doing promos." He's like,
they did that a lot. Yeah. They did that a lot. And like Darby Allin changed outside with us, so like he was like changing outside on the.
But I feel like he's just gonna change in his car anyways. That's just his vibe.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was changing on the loading dock where we were. So, but like he was sitting there with a skateboard, and again with the Sean kid, I was like, I'm gonna go ask because like I skate now too because of Noir because I got back to skating.
Oh, you got to come down to the new spot now.
I have to. Yeah. Hopefully I don't break my arm. But
okay. You'll be sad when you see what we did to some of the ramps.
Oh no. So I see him sitting there with a skateboard, and I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to him. So all this stuff happens, all the promos and stuff was going on. So I was like, what board you ride? And he told me, and I just had like a 5-minute conversation about him with skateboards. So it was like, oh, look at me, I'm famous.
Look at you all starstruck back there. Yeah, there you go.
He's a nice guy. I was like, but I'm standing like, Darby, there's a locker room that way. Like you can go change over there. You don't have to change out in the cold. Because it started raining. I was like, you don't have to sit out here. It's cold.
You're always surprised what happens backstage. Like one time I had to we were doing promos and I'm like, hey Naito, your belt's over there. Like he left it in the back of the room. Like, you want that, pal?
Yeah, there was.
I also don't know how much English he actually knows. So
yeah, there was a couple of CMLL guys there too.
Yeah. Oh, they got some deep cut CMLL, so you have no idea. You know,
but yeah.
But anyways, but no, I think they had a good first run. Edge is back. Cope, how we feel about Cope?
It's not. I don't like it. It's because so there was still a whole downgrade from the Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland from. Edge, because like Edge is so cool.
Because if I think like somebody rated R, it's a guy named Adam.
Yeah, because I'm like, who let their grandpappy on TV? Like, who let him out? So no.
I mean, more so than Christian with that damn turtleneck.
I mean, but
that fits Christian though.
Yeah, it's Christian.
The turtleneck fits him being everyone's dad.
I was just about to say that it fits him being everyone's dad. So, but apparently him changing the Cope, I'm like, oh my god, you should have just stuck with Adam Copeland because this is ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to know. Did anyone ever call him Cope before that?
No,
Was
no,
that,
Backstage,
was that his
that's about it.
nickname,
Yeah.
or
It's a
growing up?
nickname. Backstage, yeah.
It was like we're used to calling you Edge for the last 20 years. What do we call you now?
Yeah.
Adam feels weird, right? So,
Well,
and it's
he's-
not like it was never used. He did a book and under his real name and everything.
Yeah.
So, it was,
But,
it's
like-
Plus, he
something
does
new.
acting and everything
Yeah.
else.
And plus, we're in the heel face era, according to that promo.
Oh my god.
Wait, okay, let's roll back on that because I saw the Triple H's comments afterwards because they were asking him about that.
Mhm.
How do you feel about the terminology of a heel and face being used on such a high level as a wrestler?
I personally don't like it. I don't like it when there's like our lingo is used on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I'm like,
That looks
please,
stiff. Yeah, that
I hate
that
it.
bugs me too.
I hate
bit.
it because it's like you're trying to keep the illusion
Mm-hmm.
and you're ruining it, and you're part of the illusion. You're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Like in the bell to bell, like
Mhm.
let's keep the curtain up, you know, like that kind of thing.
like we know some of the fans know the terminology. You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I mean, when they do their press conferences, it seems post kayfabe, you
Yeah.
know, which is
Which
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's like this is this is this.
Mhm.
Don't fucking mix it.
I wouldn't expect a quarterback to walk into a post press conference and throw the microphone like a football. You know what I mean? So like that's fine.
just check somebody of a bad question. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or you wouldn't expect someone in the movie when they're doing a press tour. You wouldn't express Chris Evans to come out and talk like he's Captain America.
Yeah. It's like, Keanu Reeves is not just telling you he's the one the whole time.
Yes.
And I get that. So, and again, this is the introduction, so it was what it was. And Triple H kind of explained, his thing. And I don't disagree with this part of it. And this is something, it's not like they did this through the whole show. It was just something they did for the introduction, right? This is the show. Like, I feel like he's like, these are terms that everybody knows now. We hear them, when people are like, I have heard reviews of movies from people who are not wrestlers because like we throw these around because we were around it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like I know I do that. I just like, I'll be like at a concert, be like, wow, that was a big pop, and just like not everybody around me is a
My
wrestler.
mother tries to use wrestling terms and doesn't use them correctly, and I'm like, that's not what that means.
Because we've
You
all read a book where they over-explain what all these terms are. Every book you've read for the last 25 years of a wrestler is like, by the way, a face is this and a heel is this, because every fucking ghostwriter has to break it down for you.
Didn't they do that in like the Young Bucks book or something?
Every
like that?
single one.
I think they had like an index of it though.
Everything except for maybe the McFoley one, which was actually him.
Yeah.
But the Rock one, the Angle one, the
Oh,
Flair one, the Copeland one, like every fucking one has explained all of these terms.
Yeah, but she'll hear me say them and then she'll try to use them. I'm like, it's not. You
Yeah.
can't use it like
It's
that.
like,
It's,
no.
not, it's not the same way.
That's not your word.
It's not your word. You can't use it.
But anyways, like, and again, I think what's also happening is I think this is WWE trying to further distance themselves from UFC in perception to say
that's okay.
we are a show, we are a theater. They're trying outside of the box of bell
Did
to
you
bell.
hear them during the I think it was Roman versus Solo where Michael Cole was like, "This is what World Wrestling Entertainment is all about."
Yes.
So I was like, okay,
Yes. Well, at least he
we've
does.
switched gears
As long as he doesn't say the term high drama anymore, that bothered me.
or local medical facility.
We're done with that. He said hospital a couple months ago.
Yeah, so
Yes.
as long as we say hospital, like I don't.
It's like, guys, we know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like
So
yeah. But like,
Well, they did talk about. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
But they did say WWE Universe though.
that's fine. I think that's a fine. Okay, that is
Yeah,
a fine
it's
general
still-
term. That's a fine general term. They don't use it like for instead of saying fans in every instance like they used to.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's still part of the. It's still part of it. It's like how DX is always part of it, whether whether we like it or not. Like it's just a thing that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a big problem with it because they're not shoving it down our throats like they used to and not building their own social network again. So NXT Universe, I see, and I think it's a good term to we call our fans Mayhem Nation sometime here.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to make it feel bigger.
Yeah.
And that's I think WWE has earned a right to use Universe.
Absolutely.
So they had a Universal title for a while. Champion of the Universe. I was waiting for them to defend it on the moon, but as a reach out. But maybe they're just like, no, we're never getting to Mars. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
We can
They
barely
could
handle it on
put
our-
someone in low Earth orbit.
Yeah. Oh my God, could they?
They could have paid the money to
Could have.
Blue Horizon or SpaceX
I mean,
to launch someone on a suborbital flight.
I mean, they had someone that broke orbit, but then he broke loose and left. Adrian Neville.
Oh,
You don't remember Neville? He was.
yeah.
His thing would break
Yeah,
orbit.
the
ever
man,
watch-
yeah, the person
have
that
you ever
gravity
watched
forgot.
Pac's match with Gravity,
I did.
and he just kept yelling at him. Do you remember me now?
yes,
Because he was
It was
the man that
fantastic.
Gravity forgot.
It was great.
Yeah,
It
it was just like, and it's just like he's still like evil Pac, angry Pac, and
Yeah.
he just keeps yelling at this poor luchador.
Pac is probably one of my favorite male wrestlers on AEW right now, just because sometimes he's funny. He'll just start yelling. It's just like he's really really good, and I think underrated in AEW in a sense.
And also the part of that of the Death Riders that just still refuses to wear pants and a shirt.
He wasn't even wearing that when he was backstage. Like
Yeah.
he was dressed. He was the first one dressed.
Yeah.
Had a t-shirt on and
Yeah.
he was just jogging around the arena.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like it's 6 o'clock. What
He's
are
a
we doing?
beast. He's a beast,
Yeah,
He's a beast.
He is. Mhm.
and he probably didn't even have like a match that night. So I can't
He did-
remember.
I don't
I
think
can't
he
remember
did.
last time he's had a match.
I don't think he did. I think they had
They're running
Run-in,
whatever
probably.
stuff, right? So-
if I remember, yeah.
He's just like, this is how I go. I'm not a t-shirt guy. I'm not.
That's
a
why he was
whatever
doing.
guy.
That's why he was doing laps. He was getting ready for the run-in.
Mhm. This is going to be the best run in ever. Damn it!
He's
That's a dedication to. That's making your minutes count. Is what that is. So,
Absolutely.
good for him. He's like, all my luchador friends have left, and it's just me with these crazy guys.
He's also the one
Whatever.
that's I wouldn't. Well, besides Marina, is the silent one of the
Mhm.
Blackpool. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's the one of like he doesn't really talk that much, which is like okay, like he's just serious all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot.
I love it. I love it.
That's why I liked Solo before, and then he started talking. I was like, well, that's ruined.
Yeah, a little bit, isn't
he
it?
talked too much.
Another Botchamania reference.
Yeah, he did.
Well, a lot of stuff going on here, including a lot of stuff over at IndieWrestling.us. Our friends at 880 Wrestling, Big League Pro up in Erie, having a show up here in is it February? I think we're going back up there again. And of course, our friends at the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, and so much more. Our friends at Neo Pro, some new shows they just dropped to us. We'll be up here in the coming days here on the network. So go subscribe there. Check out the back catalog. Check out past 880 shows, RWA, VCW, and so much more. IndieWrestling.us, and somebody you can go check out some of their stuff. And actually over on, I feel like I only have one singles match by itself on YouTube because I was trying to look up some stuff for you. I think we just haven't edited them out individually yet. Lexus Synn, we've seen you pop up at VCW. I think I was
everywhere.
a little bit of everywhere, a little
everywhere.
bit of 880.
Yeah,
You're part of the Black Hand Society there.
I am.
So you were part of the first Penn Prairie show, actually.
I was.
That wildness.
I was a surprise. It was a fun time, and then I hurt my foot.
Oh no.
And I hurt my foot.
Man, so yeah, good first impression.
Yeah, I finished the match. All right,
Mhm.
I did everything I could, and everybody said it looked good. I'm used to jumping just off the apron to the ground, and it's cold, hard concrete, and I just had a bruise on my foot about that big for like a month, and I could not walk. I like fractured or sprained my foot or whatever they said, and I was just like, this sucks.
It was cold that night too.
It
right?
was. It was very cold, and I wet
yeah.
my hair when I wrestled, and I was like, I hate it here. I hate it here.
Yeah. I didn't get cold until literally the beginning of your match, the main event. There, I
It
was
was.
really lucky with that. Actually,
But me and Condor got that really cool picture that
Mhm.
it was with us walking. It was pretty cool.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, that's worth it, I guess.
I called it because I saw that picture of you guys because Matt Connor the Reaper is out there and he's Mr. Abs in his fucking cloak, and
Oh,
I'm just
absolutely.
like, and you got your like kind of skull mask situation, you got cloak thing going on, and I was like, this is like sexy Dark Lotus, it's like a kind of a cool vibe going on there,
Absolutely.
and everything. So, kind of describing like who you are, other than your impression here for people you're new to on this show. There was a great picture, a great sign that I saw when I was happened to direct the last RWA show.
Oh, absolutely.
That I just
Bring
got
it
the
up.
biggest kick of. I didn't grab the picture itself.
I did
unfortunately,
too, but I couldn't.
But I
write
have
character.
the image in my brain of Timu Rhea Ripley was the sign.
It was great. Listen, so I was talking to Gianni, and I walked past him, and I saw the sign, I looked them up and down. I was like, man, I can't smile right now. I'm not supposed to be smiling, right?
Because
I wasn't supposed to be smiling, right? I can't smile. So I'm like, okay, let me just turn around. And I even told like one of the security people, was like, get them out. I don't want to hear no more. Like just joking around. So after I told J-Rock to F off because J-Rock sucks.
You didn't want to give it up one time?
No, I gave him up one time with the middle finger, not the one finger for him. No, he's a horrible tag team partner.
Okay,
but after like intermission and stuff, I came out and like it was actually really cool. So like I embrace it. I don't hate it.
It's good because I mean, again, that's fun. That's the sign guy over there puts in a lot of work.
He did, except he didn't want to get a picture with me. Everybody else did. I was like, bro, you made the sign. You don't want to get a picture? I'm confused. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? The J-Rock potato one was funny though. I had to like cover my mouth when I saw it when I was standing on the apron because it was really funny, and I was like, ooh, that's too accurate.
What was it like? He looks like a potato? Or?
Yeah, it said J-Rock potato, and someone drew his face like a potato.
See that one?
It was the same people.
Like I only catch them when the wrestlers walk by them.
I'll find it.
And
on
usually,
the replay.
and they're reacting to the sign because it's in that like front corner, so it's like away from hard cam and stuff like that, right? So although I love somebody keeps pulling up signs at the old 880 facility right in front of hard cam, so I get the sign from another match that also cracks me up. It has nothing to do with what's going on. So
I'll find it back on the replay. And I'll send you the J-Rock potato one. It was funny.
I love this because again, I made a comment the other day that apparently got some traction. There I was like, we were talking about the MV Young and Mikey Montgomery match from Enjoy at the Stage AE, and it had a standing ovation, and I'm just like, I don't know too many places where you get a true standing ovation. I felt like we used to do that at least once or twice a night at old IWC shows back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And the other thing I don't remember being back then that we have now is indie wrestling sign guys. And there's only a couple of them, but
I think we've had to swap the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we kind of have, right? So, like, and I don't know if that's like the a different attitude of fans, or maybe they're I don't know what that change has been.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just used to 50 flips in a match, chain wrestling, kind of thing, and don't appreciate it like we used to.
That's where you have to be different on the card. That's where like my coach Spectre is like, you have to be different because you don't want to do the same thing that like two matches before you have done, because they're gonna get tired of it. It's not going to be used to. That's not standing ovation worthy if they've seen a shoulder tackle and drop down 500 times a night.
Exactly.
So
exactly. What specially did you make them feel? And actually, it comes down to, did you make them feel something, right?
Yeah.
So in the long run.
And even though my moveset is, not flippy dippy.
No. Wait. You'll say, other than representing you as Timu Rhea Ripley,
I'm fine with that.
You do present yourself also as a muscle mommy.
I am. I'm gonna give that out to Brad. Brad came up with that, not me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him his props for that one.
So, like, for those that don't know, like, who is Lexus Synn?
A badass who will pick you up and throw you around.
That seems right.
That seems right. In the short version.
Yeah. Well, I think the first show I saw you, it was one I wasn't here for. It was one of these fire hall shows I think VCW did, and I'm like, who is this girl just throwing people around?
Oh, like, was it the fire?
I think it was a fire. The
one I was throwing Pagasa around. It's my favorite pastime.
That sounds right. Yes.
I love throwing Pagasa around. Let me tell you. Oh, it's my favorite.
She's
very throwable.
She seems possible. Yes.
Who else I like throwing around? Zoe Sky is another one I love throwing around. Probably my favorite one to throw around. Let me switch them up. Zoe Sky is my favorite one to throw around.
She is. Yeah.
She is very fun to throw around.
She can get some air, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, we're going to put that last name Sky to the test. All right. We're going to put it to the test.
I feel like she has a different name every time she pops up on AEW, though. Like,
she was actually there when I was there. Like, I was shaking hands with everybody, and all of a sudden she just goes, whoop, around somebody. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I know you.
Yeah, I know she pops up when they're in the general area. But, like, again, like, I think they've used a couple different names. Like, I know they're not using the Zoe Sky, like, and because, well, they got Sky Blue and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I imagine
probably just Zoe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. No, it's like something completely different.
Really?
Odd, I could be mistaken. Somebody's going to have the cage match that or something out there.
Yeah, because honestly, this might be horrible of me, but I don't pay that much attention. Like when people put up nameplates, like I don't pay that much attention.
No. It's not as fun as it used to be. AEW used to have like nice little phrases on there, but I think they've given up that part of it. No. So it's every day for them. So I don't think they have the same that same vibe they used to have.
Now,
so.
now I think indie wrestling should start doing that. Just start changing everybody's name.
We were doing that for a minute. Like Riz and Missy would do that at 880 a bit.
Spectre comes out pissed off, say nobody gave him the microphone. That's what it says. Nobody gave him the microphone.
Well, listen, shows when we have a dedicated graphics person that has a sense of humor, we're gonna have to do something about that.
Just start writing cards.
So, he just had a line left up there from that graphic. I felt like I left the Netflix logo on. Anyways, so how many years have you been doing this then?
Just over a year.
You're literally over a year?
I am.
Shit.
Everybody says that. I'm like, wow, am I?
And I haven't seen you every Thursday.
No, you haven't seen me every Thursday.
I know.
But me and Noir are trying to get up there to do our tag team. So
okay. I think that's to my knowledge, I think it's one of the only places doing intergender tags.
That's
right?
why we said that's why we're gonna go up there and do it. We're gonna bring the Omen to light sometime whenever we make it up there.
So wait, is that the tag name?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unless we change it.
The Omen or
yes, the Omen. I actually made him a joke. I was like, wow, that's funny. Because he was in that group at VCW, whatever. What was it called? It was an O.
I don't remember.
I was like, you left one group with an O, and I'm making you join one.
What was the name of it? I
can't remember.
Was
honestly.
it the
Origin or something?
Original?
I think it was the Origin.
I think it was
the
Origin. Which I don't even know what the fuck that meant. Like the origin of what? Like
a tag team.
The origin.
The origin of a tag team.
Like it wasn't even like a reference to something else from the area, like a Black Hand thing or something.
I mean, like we did the Omen because he's kind of spooky scary, and like at the time, like I still use tarot cards in my stuff. Like I literally have like tarot cards in my gear bag that I can use. So I was like doing that, and then with like my Reaper gimmick too, because it's like I do like the Bringer of Death. I'm like, hey.
Did you have to clear the Reaper look with Matt Connor?
No, but here's the story. I was terrified that like I would see him and he would be like, don't do that. But he was super chill about it. Because I even was telling Noir, he was like, no, Connor's chill, And like, he's really chill. And he actually wants to team with me, like either at RSW or if I go to Rise, maybe.
Allegedly, maybe.
But yeah, so he's really cool with it.
That's good. And did he tell you to stay away from Sean Spears, right?
Everybody's told me. Okay. Everybody. Yeah, I'll just won't start swinging the tray around, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's that too. So awesome. So you're in. You've been throwing Pagasa around a lot. What are some
favorite pastime?
What are some other highlights from the first year in here?
Raylan. Raylan was a fun one. I honestly just meeting so many good people and learning. Honestly, I usually do opponents as like notable, like memorable things, but it's like just doing what I've always wanted to do, which is wrestling, and like accomplishing like stuff, and even that's a good picture. Look at that one. That one's sick.
There's you with Raylan. Hurting her.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, I just love hurting people. But like even just like winning about like a year and a half in, it's like wow, that's doing extra work for AEW a year and a half in. It's like wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, good place to be for that kind of stuff.
Going to Vermont a year and a half in.
Vermont. What is wrestling like in Vermont?
Yo, they love it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Evelyn Sage got me up there, and it was great. And actually, the referee in my match literally lives like an hour from my house. So she's cool. But we drove up there 10 hours. Car rides sucked because I don't like sitting that long. But we get up there, and like they don't have barriers, but they have like tables for like the barricades. I wish I had a spot where I was on the ground because I was going to pull people's shoelaces, like crawl on the table, just pull them. But it was really fun. They're really big on their like heels and faces. Like they're like old school. So it's like really fun.
So kind of like RWA.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I was like, even people were like, yeah, wrestling in Vermont's like hard to get on your bucket list because it's like such a like small little area. It's like, yeah, but I did it.
Speaking of which, we talked a little about RWA and your involvement with J-Rock, and I know there's a couple of people that come through there, and I've kind of like, hey, I've been like kind of like, hey, watch this crowd, I love that. You got to experience, you got to be out there when J-Rock was getting.
I thought he was gonna get stabbed. I thought he was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die.
Listen, when he turned around and said "shut up, bitch" to that one lady, I'm like, and everybody, like the whole front row rose right up. I'm like,
I kid you not.
Here the fuck we go.
I stood there. I kid you not. Coming from IWC and other like places where it's like family friendly show, don't do this, don't do that. Hearing J-Rock do that, I went, what? I was like, did he get? And then like when I told him to fuck off, I went in the back because he got a big pop.
Yeah.
I went in the back and Quinn was right there. I was like, I am so sorry. He's like, no, it's perfect. I was like, huh? What?
Oh, you were apologizing for swearing, and he said, "No, this is fine here."
Yeah, because I literally was like, "No, fuck you, J Rock," and like I left, and like everybody was so happy because they just hate J Rock.
Yeah,
I was just like, "No, fuck you," and I went to the back, and Quinn was standing right there, and I was like, "I am so sorry for swearing." He's like, "No, you're fine. It was perfect. It was really good."
It's a beautiful thing with there because Reese Hayes debuted a few months ago, and I was like, I'm not worried about Reese getting, it was like all he has to be is not be Gianni.
Oh,
like if you just want to like. Oh, I don't know if I'll get over here. It's just like if you're against J Rock, you're good.
That's what they told
if you're
me.
against like they know you're the one that we're gonna like in this one because we hate this guy.
Yeah, that's how I was even with Tony Cade. Where I was like, oh, cool, like because that was my first time there was with Tony, and then when I kicked Timothy and then like scared like made Tony piss his pants.
Yeah,
everybody was like, ooh, okay. And then I did the J Rock thing, and I was like, yeah, F you, J Rock, and everybody was like, oh. Like it was great. It was fantastic. That crowd is so much fun.
You are, of course, like I said, we mentioned it before. You're part of the Troublemakers.
I am. That's my other favorite pastime is beating up Zeke Mercer.
Oh, okay.
I actually think I posted that for his birthday. I was like, "Happy birthday, Zeke!" I think it was that one, and then the one before it where I kicked them in the head.
I think it's like right here. No, it's over
No,
this
that's
way.
me.
I went the wrong way. There we go.
There it is.
There it is.
Happy birthday.
There you go. So, I think a lot of people's favorite pastime is beating up Zeke Mercer.
I love beating up.
Or
Zeke Mercer.
tell him to fuck off at 880. Apparently, this is also a good one.
Yeah, I don't think I've crossed their path yet, but you never know.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll bring the the chemistry or the I don't know where I want to put it from BCW. Bring it to 880, where it's like. I'm gonna beat up Z Mercer.
There you go. You'll probably get cheered there, though. I'm in the background of this one. Anyways, apparently I was shooting that one. I forgot my follow up there. Oh, has Troublemakers let you talk during the intro yet?
No, because they know I'll spell correctly and they don't.
Okay, they want to make sure.
I should have got them in dictionaries, and then for like Hanukkah, got Spectre Dictionary too, because like for some reason nobody can spell. I don't know who let this get cleared, to be fair.
Yeah, fact with a K is real weird.
It is weird. And then everybody looks at me like I'm in the wrong. Like, I had a school teacher come up who bought the shirt and changed it with a C and was like, this is correct. I was like, thank you. I know it's correct. I passed school. Thank you.
So there's some inner team strife over spelling, apparently.
All the time. If you literally will watch us, if after they do the thing, I pull either Tyler or Kanan aside, and I'm like, it's a C. And they're like, C what? And I'm like, then Kanan will come over and be like, CK, Kanan Christopher. I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know if there's so the last APWF show, you guys were in you were ringside. The guys were in the match with Rad Boys and Paxton Calloway,
he picked me up and I did not like it at all. Because Kanan put me in front of him.
I watched him carry a Lady Frost frozen Mick Foley up a ramp. And was so tall he almost bumped Mick's head off the top of the entranceway.
Listen, I never get picked up. All right, yes. I did not like it one bit.
Well, it was a hilarious point where you walked by me when everything was going bad at the end, and just like, I'm done with this.
I'm done. That was also so that was probably a couple weeks after my foot injury, so I was still hobbling around. So they were like, you got to be in like these positions, and I'm like, I don't know if I can run that far, guys. Like my foot hurts. Like I don't know.
It was definitely a bit.
It was fun though. I saw you just posted that clip. Yeah, this one. Yeah, they did not have anything ready to go. I don't understand. We had a game plan. We had a game plan, and they did not follow.
The Rad Boys are like the smallest guys, and they put them against backs, and you can see the size there if you're on video with us on the wide shot there. And then there's just you, I'm just trying to digest this entire situation.
I'm just there yelling at them to do something, and they're not doing anything besides not winning.
So you're a lot of places. RSW, women's champion,
yeah,
ladies champion, women's champion,
women's. I got to defend it Saturday against Micah.
Okay,
never faced her, but I've seen her around.
The former nurse Micah, I believe.
Possibly.
I think so. Yeah, I think we've seen her at a couple of shows here. So I think she was at BCW for a moment too, before you came by.
Not when I was there.
No.
But I've seen her around. Just haven't crossed paths. But this is the time.
Good. And that's good too, because I always worry because again, I see you throwing around Pagasa a lot.
Oh,
I see you against a lot of other familiar faces.
Honestly, between beating up Zeke or throwing around Pagasa, I might have to put Zeke up
At
on
least
top of that.
at least you got Zeke to throw around too.
Yeah.
But I had been concerned about this because women's talent is always
Very
light in
hard
the
to come.
area, right? That's why I do like that there is an intergender element to some promotions now, because there's a lot of opportunity there, I feel. Like I was leading into this show, I was thinking about you and Pagasa and a couple other the newer girls, and I remember when it was like, okay, here's Britt Baker and Katie Arquette or Zoe Sky or Ray Lynn, and it was like the same four over and over and over again. Like I can only see this so many times, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of it's a issue with the area.
It's a curse. I'm not gonna lie. There is some times where I'm like, because it's like I feel like, and I know I'm wrong, but I feel like when I wrestle a certain opponent so many times, we've done everything we could.
Yeah.
But I know I'm wrong, right?
You're not growing much unless unless you guys get out to other places and bring it back.
Yes.
Which
I hope
where's
is
the growth?
what I'm trying to do. And hopefully I'm doing
and
it
that's
correctly.
nothing against Pagasa and them. I mean, they're suffering the same issue.
Yeah. So, but like, when there's some coming up and stuff like that where I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to think outside the box of what I can do differently, because there was a match last year with somebody that I was just like about, where I was like, I don't want to do this again. Right? It's the same song and dance, right?
Yeah.
But when I got there, all of a sudden my creative juices were flowing, and I came up with this really cool finish spot, and a really cool way for them to do their little submission or their finish or whatever, and for me to get out of it, and we could lead into that. So I was like, oh wow, and like the crowd, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like it's so different now. Like it's like, okay, like it's the same, like seeing it so many times over and even doing it so many times over, it's like but like, so now I'm thinking like, okay, I know who I'm facing in a couple months. It's like I'm trying to think more. It's like, okay, let's see what we can do
how
different.
can paint this with a different brush, maybe, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to do that, and I think that does happen with a lot of people. Like getting these feuds, again, these same matches over and over again.
Yeah.
I think the guys suffer that a little bit too.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's not just the girls.
Yeah.
Now with the girls, there's less of us, obviously. Yes. The guys, there's not. So that's why I think ours is more prevalent. You know what I mean? Because like
it's more obvious.
Yes, I can even tell you that one of my favorite opponents, Colby Max, was talking, and we were talking to Evelyn, and she was like, yeah, the only people I see around, like Evelyn was like, the only people I see around is you and Colby and Lex. And I was like, well, yep. Like in that little area, it's like, yep.
Yep. And
but we have Ava Brooks coming up, who I just got to tangle with her for this. She was in that match. Great.
And she's looking for being, again, a couple matches in. Yeah. Like she's been looking good.
There was another girl who replaced Pagasa, Mars. Great. Then there's, like I said, Colby, there's Evelyn, like there's just, and hopefully I get to add Micah to my list. That's like, okay, cool, I want to do this again, right? So it's like there's people there. It's just they need to get out, and then once you see them out more, you're like, okay, cool, right?
And it does seem like more, at least I feel like I said 880, I feel like we're seeing a little bit more different faces there. Like like Shaza's come down, Brianna, bands, and everything. So
Shaza was fun to wrestle.
Yeah.
She was fun.
Yeah.
She was really fun. I would do it again, hopefully in a singles match, because less moving parts.
Yes, absolutely. So, from the chat room, Matt, True Prince of Pro, we know from social media, is out there, and saying, again, from a conversation we were having earlier, we barely see the standing ovations and please come back chance towards debuting wrestlers anymore. We usually get that a lot. Yeah. And also. I think Ava's mom just popped up in the chat room.
Oh, hey, Robin!
Like literally right now.
What's up?
Yeah, somebody's ears are burning out there. I also wanted to say Alexis has a bright future. You're into the business, already had some, already a great performer and has a star quality absence. And that's true. Even from seeing you back in February the first time. Oh yeah. I've definitely seen the presence. Has kind of popped.
Whoever said that, thank you so much.
Yes, that's also true, Prince. So.
Thank you.
So you're gonna stick around here. I want to talk a little bit about the New Japan show, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened there.
I saw little pictures.
Yes, I could fill in some blanks. So you ask me about the New Japan show. What do you want to know about it? Because we stayed up late. It's the only New Japan show in Japan that I stay up and watch live.
Was that the one that Brody King was on?
Yes.
Okay, that's the
well,
only
the
thing-
Dynasty. Yes.
That's the only one I know about because I just follow Brody King a lot. I used to stay up for wrestling a lot, but it's like
I do it once a year. I do it
Once a year?
Once a year.
Okay,
I got my Wrestle Kingdom tradition.
Okay.
You know, not everything's spun up for the year.
Can I go back and watch the show on a replay?
Oh, absolutely.
Sell me on the show.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. I like this. I like this one. All right, guys. If you're with us on the video version, you're going to catch a little bit. I got to throw confetti in this next video.
Okay.
And I'm just going to leave it there for you. It's the crotch I've been looking at this whole show.
Oh, it's the package.
It's the package.
It's the package.
So we're going to play the
Marco's a
package,
sweetheart.
and then we're going to be back in like 4 minutes probably for you guys on the
It's
live.
a 4-minute package?
No,
Wow,
no.
That's a long
There's
time.
other stuff. It's okay. We'll be right back.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show with Lexus Synn,
Hello.
RSW Women's Champion, the Women's Champion of West Virginia.
West Virginia,
Is it a
Ohio.
world? Is it a world? Is it
It's
West
a world,
Virginia?
'cause
Is
this is getting defended in Clarksburg, West Virginia on Saturday.
cross-state champion?
And then when I defeat Micah, I'm gonna go into Parma and wrestle Slam and Sammy again.
You got to take it up to Canada.
Oh,
Make it
let me get my
Make
passport.
it a world title.
Oh, absolutely. Let me get my passport. Let's go
Get
to
your
Canada.
passport. Make it happen. Hey,
Eh? Yeah, make it happen, eh?
hit up Channing Decker and go up to Greektown. He's
Absolutely.
a good dude. Good dude.
Oh,
you probably
Decker-
run into
Oh.
him.
Decker loves me.
Oh, Decker's amazing.
Yeah, he loves
I remember
me.
when
So
he
sweet
used
guy.
to. I remember when he used to be in a fraternity.
I do too. I do too.
So, now he's hardcore as fuck. So
It's so crazy how they went different pathways.
I know.
Like I think one of them still doing the fraternity
I
thing.
saw
kinda.
him pop up, and I was like, he's still doing the
still
fraternity
doing-
with the cricket bat
And
with his
then-
partner.
And then you have Decker who's like, I'm the white New Jack.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what he's doing. It's just exactly what he's doing.
I know.
He's great.
Once I heard him play New Jack Steve, I'm like, New Jack? And I
think
look and I'm like, oh, it's Decker.
Yeah. He's like Mr. ECW. Maybe his tag chance with Tommy Dreamer for
He
a bit
was.
there.
was.
So I still haven't watched the last Big League show back where like Rick Chesley's jumping off a fucking scissor lift.
McChesney's,
know.
I love him to death. He scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like after I saw that hit with the guitar from Elias where it just split him open, I was like,
Oh
ooh.
no.
And then when he
Oh
like,
yeah, I saw the aftermath of that.
and
yeah.
then when he jumped off, I'm like, oh, McChesney, you're scaring me.
Yo, McChesney's the first time.
But he's tough.
I've said this multiple times, but the first pro wrestling I saw was flipping through the channels, and it was the Super Indie where he won
Mhm.
like 4,
Mhm.
where he went through like Low Key and everybody, and he's this skinny kid that just got the shit chopped out of him all through like 3
And
matches.
I was saying, Low Key's not holding back.
No,
because Low Key's
no,
crazy. We were
no.
just talking about that. Me and Nora were watching on the indie wrestling channel.
Mhm,
We were watching the old because we called Spectre up because he was facing Chris Sabin. I
Sounds
believe.
right. Sounds right.
And he chopped him in the stomach, and we were like, "Hey, brother, who trained you? Why did you chop him in the stomach?"
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So I think we were watching the other one after that. So yeah, I think I remember watching that because I was like, I think when I first watched, I was like, McChesney's just getting the shit beat out of him, and I'm like, ooh, I feel bad.
This makes me so happy that I uploaded all that stuff now.
It makes me very happy because I can go back and just watch matches if I want to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I am a big believer of the history being out there and available.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I like old WWF.
How do you
and
speaking
WCW and
of
stuff.
the stuff being uploaded? Me and my friend were talking about this a couple weeks back. How do you feel about the WWE Vault channel uploading old school matches and stuff like that? I think it's really cool.
I think it's cool. Somebody, there's actually somebody that's been hitting me up on the comments because we have an old video when WWE went to Peacock.
Yep.
And it was like, hey guys, like WWE Network still exists. It's just not here.
Mhm.
And if you use a VPN and do this, this, and this, it was actually really hard to do. And somebody found that video and started responding to it. So what do I do now? Like with such and such, does this still work? And was like, well, WWE Network's pretty much dead, but if you have Netflix, you can do this, but it doesn't have everything.
Yeah.
And we had the conversation. I'm just like, listen, oh, I was so far into this and you know, watching this thing. And I was like, watch their YouTube because they're going to repost everything.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they're doing. And so when you do a platform crossover, I'm getting real technical here. When you do a platform crossover, I mean, how many times have you resold things? How many times have I been resold something of the original Ninja Turtles over the years, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're getting represented. Hey, we took all this stuff down over here, but if you go to YouTube, we're going to spoon feed you some Saturday night's main event to prop up the one that's coming up.
They were even posting some old school ECW stuff.
Yeah, and stream. Yeah, there was I watched the lost ECW show from WWE ECW there, which was really cool to watch. You know, it's really just fan cam footage, but still a lot of interviews with fans and stuff. Yeah, there's I still need to watch the behind the scenes of the Rooftop Monday Night Raw. By the way, they played Union Underground last night.
They did. I got really excited for it. Put that
out there. We were talking about we were when they were doing the promos, those slow-mo promos for 880's new intro.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Brandon St. James, and they were like, we need like the old Raw is War thing. I was like, and I just like pulled up Union Underground and put it up. I'm like, all right, everybody got a vibe now, right?
So I had, when I was a kid, I had like a figure fed with my wrestlers and stuff like that. And even in my video games when I would do my own thing, like in my brain I was like, okay, so my Raw is gonna be like, it's gonna be new town wrestlers, it's gonna be like new school wrestlers, right? But like the intro, the song is gonna be Union Underground across the nation.
Yes.
And then the SmackDown one I think was either what was the one after Beautiful People? It started off slow, it started off quiet and then it got really loud. If it wasn't that, it was
I'm
either
still standing here. I'm still standing here.
It was
that one?
It was either that one or it was Rise Up by
Don't Question My Heart.
Yes.
I bet it is.
It was one of those two. It was either that one or it was Rise by shit, what was their name? I forget. They did I think it was Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. What's that band called?
Drowning Pool.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, so it was either one of those two. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have updated like this year's wrestlers, but like we're gonna have the old school like songs.
Actually, ECW was Don't Question My Heart.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
From 07 to 10.
Oh, that's a bad time.
Don't question my heart.
That was such a bad time.
That was a terrible.
Let me see if
that was Saliva, I believe. Dude, there was a lot. There was so much saliva. Anyways, I was supposed to talk about New Japan.
Yes. Sell me on the show.
The show and Wrestle Dynasty and the match that made President Tanahashi cry. My God, it was beautiful. Gabe Kidd, Kenny Omega. You did have a vibe. You know that thing where everybody gets sucked out of NXT and you're like, I don't know if NXT is going to make it, guys. This was what Wrestle Kingdom was this year.
Okay.
And I say that, you know, I always believe, like somebody asked like years ago about like the WWE or months ago, weeks ago, days ago, I don't know, about the WWE ID program if it's a problem. I was like, listen, I don't care if they get signed because that's new opportunities for other people to pop up. AEW cleaned out the indies 5 years ago.
People were saying Triple H did, and I'm like, oh no, Tony Khan did.
Yeah, between the two of them, and then what happened? People stepped the fuck up, right? I think people will fill the vacuum and step up. That I think you will always have this, and I think it needs to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like there needs to be controlled burns in a forest situation. So obviously New Japan's going through one of the... We had this years aago when Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles all got scooped up out of New Japan. And then Kenny's out, and then this. And, you know, the last 5 years and recovering from COVID, which is a longer recovery in Japan than it was for here.
Absolutely.
Won't get into those, but it was, you know, and they had a very good draw, like the best draw they've had in like almost 10 years, I think, in New Japan, from what I understand, at the Tokyo Dome. So New Japan is like, I was shocked to see Zack Sabre Jr., their champion, against Shota Umino as the champion, or as the main event. That seemed strange to me. I'm not following what Shota's been doing the last year or so. But it delivered. You know, it was good. It's hard to get behind Shooter for that one. And I don't know the story much from the year. But then we went to Gabe Kidd, who was like, "Fuck you, I'm New Japan." Like he came out, took his sweats or whatever off, and he's like, he's got his war dogs on one side and he's got the line mark on the other side. He's like, "No, I'm fucking representing this company, and whether you fucking like it or not."
Yeah, I saw he was on a tear in a couple promos earlier, I think in the year.
Dude, that guy, I shot a promo with him a few months ago. That guy is a force. He is crazy in front of that camera, and it's awesome. And if you have not been, watch that match with Kenny Omega. That's the sell there. I almost want to sell Wrestle Dynasty over Wrestle Kingdom, to be quite honest. And it's partly like, okay, there's like some other talents in there, and it was just like, hey, this guy's coming in and kind of putting over, the home guy at this point. And we kind of do the same thing with Forbidden Door with AEW, but like there was a lot of really good stuff in there. Like winner or not, like there were some really good matches. Naito and Takahashi was really great on Wrestle Kingdom. But yeah, and also like Kenny Omega was like, okay, he's been out with like what he said, 2 feet of his intestines have been taken out over the last year. He had that same diverticulitis that Brock Lesnar had for a little bit there, that we had Mama Lunchbox come on and explain that to us several years ago. And it was, it was like, oh God, can he do all the things that he used to? He definitely looks leaner than he used to, but healthy.
That's good.
And they did some crazy shit. Obviously, if you've seen the pictures there,
I saw I think it was the V trigger in the ropes. I think that was the clip I saw. So I think a thing posted, an Instagram that I followed posted that, oh my God, that fucking knee.
There's some scary fuck you table spots on top of the Japanese tables being scary.
Japanese tables are scary.
They're thinner. They're
like benches.
Yeah, they're more like benches. So like that's like just physics at that point. At one point he does like, I think it was something like a razor's edge over the barricade through one of the announce tables on the outside.
That's very convoluted, but it sounds cool.
Crazy. And if you understand the setup of what they do at Wrestle Kingdom, it's scary as hell.
I think I've watched like a few, because like Spectre got me really into like Japan. Like he's the one that actually put into my brain like, you can go to Japan and do this. It's like, shit, say less.
There's an opportunity. You got your DDTs and like all kinds of stuff. I mean, look at what Beastman's been doing the last week in the deathmatch.
Beastman's
scene.
been killing it.
He's been murdering it.
He just faced Shellac, and like not a lot of people know who Shellac is, but I know who Shellac is. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, King Kong Beastman, as we called him when he was on the show last.
But like, it's like, because like especially with my style, like it's kind of strong style when I hit. So it's like, because that's exactly what like the first thing he said was like, your style fits Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, sick. He was like, and you're tall. I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so like I could do this.
And especially like if you did a TGPW or something, like look at like how Max the Impaler sticks out so much, because they're all like they're badasses, but they're like half of them like are playing pop stars. K-pop stars, or I guess J-pop stars, excuse me. And stuff like that. So, but like
so like he slowly got me into watching some Japan matches. Like I just sent him a clip that I posted on my Instagram story from Combat. What's her name? I forget. But it's when she did the German into the ball bar that exploded. If you remember what I'm talking about. If not, I guess I knew.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, it is. Combat Toyota. So she was, she's old school, so it's just like old. So it was her and this other girl that would, I watched a couple of their matches because they went back and forth, but they had an exploding ball bar, I guess, match. And she like, it was the nastiest looking German because it looked real, because she ran into it and she caught her and she went so slow back and like, it looked like she dropped her on her neck into the ball bar when it like went off. And I was like, oh, it was so good. But I'll try to find you the whole match. I'll send it to you.
Athena got pinned for the first time in about 2 years.
Oh, did she?
After taking the baseball bat to
the
head.
Wait! I did see that. I showed that to my my friend. And I was like, I think she died.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you gimmick that, right? In a sense, because I was like, oh, because she didn't do this.
And we were watching it with the wrestler, and they're just like, no, they took that. Like that was not pulled. That was straight on.
Honestly, between that and that V trigger was probably one of my favorite clips I saw that night. So I was like, damn, because I like it when women like, because this is I love this. It's like I'm gonna do anything for this. It's like if someone said, "Will you take a baseball bat?" It's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's figure it out. Right? Maybe it's not best for my health, but we'll figure it out.
Do you have any questions? Just give me direction here on where to go with this. So, like, will you have any questions about Wrestle Dynasty, Wrestle
I will
Kingdom
actually
going
probably
into it?
just check it out, to be fair.
Oh, you're there.
I will probably just check it out. I will figure out a way to find this and check
I
it
did.
out.
I forgot about New Year's Dash until like right before the show, and I was watching the first hour of it before the podcast tonight. Actually, those are exciting because they're usually mystery shows.
Okay.
Literally, like they showed me because we do one of those American. It's just like everybody in production gets like a big sheet with question marks.
Oh.
That's how secret they are on shit like
cool.
that. So, but no, like I said, again, the vibes, and again, I'm not remembering. I'm always terrible with the Japanese names. I've only recently can tell you the difference between a Tanahashi and a Takahashi.
Mm-hmm.
Like name wise, because I was fucking them up. I was so afraid to do it in front of people that were at New Japan.
That's kind of how I am with Japanese wrestlers or even Mexican wrestlers. So, like, I don't want to offend nobody. So if I said that name wrong that I just said,
that's why it's like Daryl Guy and El Presidente was where we've landed on recently. So we're just like, so we know who we're talking about because like you know Missy is not well actually she knows the names more than I do now since she works with everybody. So yeah.
Shame.
Oh no. It's Missy is the primary Sorg in New Japan.
Oh, okay.
I'm Missy. I'm Mr. Sorg.
Okay.
Missy's husband. So which was so bonkers to me the first time I went. And I was like, oh, this is something. Anyways. No, definitely. You mentioned Brody King.
Yes, I'm a big House of Black mark. My actually, so coming up with my wrestling name, I was gonna do Lexus Black, and I brought it to Spectre, and he said, "That's perfect." But and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think Noir used to be black too.
He was black.
So
yes,
yeah,
he was.
Used to be Christian Black. Let me qualify that because I know he'll message me later. Now
I'm going there
probably.
after. I'll bring it up.
Jeez.
But but honestly, how I did it was because I'm a big metalhead. I was like, let me look at like last names of like my favorite bands, like lead singers or guitarists or whatever, and I landed on Black Veil Bride's Andy Black, and I was like, that's cool. And like I said, he was like, that's perfect. It fits. Da, da, da. He's like, what? And I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, no. But then he was like, Sen. I was like, I dig it. First, he wanted me to do the last name Savage. And I'm like, do I do this? No. No.
Yeah. You already have a Savage gentleman that works in the area and everything like that. By the way, Victor Benjamin. God, I'm sorry. All of his gimmicks popped in my head at once, and I can't remember. I have the same problem with Walking Wild too. But just announced recently, I just saw it today. He is going to return to boxing.
That's actually sick. That's really cool.
So
my coach wants me to take a fight.
He was. I don't know if he still is after that last fight. I think he still is undefeated in MMA.
Okay.
I believe I filmed his only boxing match.
Oh, that's sick.
So back in the day.
So if I ever take on a boxing match, you'll film it for me, right?
I'm sure if the promotion's down with it. I don't know. I haven't done MMA in like 6 months. So
I think my coach will be cool with it. I'll be like, it's a story. He's from wrestling. Like, oh, sick.
I think I only did 2 MMA shows and a kickboxing show last year.
If he ever puts on a show and you want extra work, I can hit you up.
I want to get back into combat sports, honestly. So I'm looking for an angle, but I need places that aren't already occupied.
This one is not occupied. He's just started doing his own like shows for our gym. Like
let's have a conversation.
All right. I'll hit you with my coach.
Anyways, yeah. So but So speaking of also who was it? MMA guy popped up. Josh Barnett.
I love Josh
over the weekend. Popped up in the Rambo, and he had a 5-minute exhibition grapple match on New Year's Dash.
My goal right now, besides getting signed to WWE, is Bloodsport. I want to be on a Bloodsport. Him and Shayna.
We know a couple people you can talk
Trust
to.
me, if I wasn't working that Thursday, they had it on. I would have messaged Victor and be like, "Can I hop in the car?" Like to go help, but I was working. But but like him, like I found Shayna right from the Mae Young Classic, which is also where I found Rhea. So I looked more into Shayna, and then I found Josh Barnett. I was like, oh, sick, cool. So I just kept looking at his stuff, and they actually got me into Warhammer too. Let alone doing like half the stuff at MMA. Like so, Shayna really pushed me into doing MMA. So did Malachi Black as well. So like obviously, like I did the black mask for the longest time. Sometimes I pull it out here and there, but like I went in to my coach and I was like, teach me this. Like, so he taught me it. Like, But like, yeah, so like they helped me in MMA too. But yeah, I followed Josh Barnett and like I dig him. Some people might not like his style, but I mean, not everybody's cup of tea, you know.
That's why you work so well in Japan, where it's such a it's so closer to that. You see a lot of MMA people.
Oh yeah,
really flourish in that company. So Brock went over and became champion. Out of nowhere, honestly, it seemed.
Same wasn't Kurt in Japan for a minute or no?
He was an IWGP, because he was an IWGP champion because he had brought that belt over, and then at some point he had like 6 titles for some reason.
He was the belt collector before Kenny Omega was.
Yes, he was, absolutely. So I think they had a match with him and Samoa Joe against somebody like maybe the Dudleys, and they ended up with like every TNA belt.
I think I remember that angle too.
Like, it was weird.
TNA around that time was crazy. Like that's my favorite TNA to go back and watch because it was crazy. It was so good. Like I'm not gonna lie, my favorite TNA character around the time was Shark Boy. I loved Shark Boy. Shark Boy was great. It was so funny. Like this and like the Stone Cold. I was like, what is happening?
You want to hear the most random comment I got on TikTok in the last couple of weeks?
What is
Other than VPNs for WWE Network? Somebody saw a clip when Zeke was on here with Kimmy Rhodes and asked if that was Shark Boy. And I was like, what? How? Where are you? Are you drunk?
Speaking of Kimmy, all right. So after our match at 880, and I'm trying to help Zeke up, she comes over and says, yeah, fuck you. I look up. I'm like, you're that girl from Instagram I follow. Scared to death. Looks at me like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, huh? And I'm just like, I just keep yelling, like, you're the girl from Instagram, right? And then I get Zeke, we go back up, and like, I go downstairs to get like a soda or whatever, and I see him talking in the hallway. I run. I'm like, I am so sorry if I scared you. I know I'm scary, but like, I follow you on Instagram. You're really funny. Da da da. Like, I got to shake her hand. I was like, oh, this is a great day. It was so funny. I texted my friend. I was like, I just met somebody from Instagram. Who? Sent him a video. What'd she do? Comedian. Great.
I've been surprised how many people message me after we put up clips with her on the show. I'm just like, is that such and such? I'm like, yeah.
It's crazy. But like I said, I scared her to death. I was like, oh, like just screaming at her. Like,
I get that. I get that. Hey, I also get weirded out when people are like, hey, so I listened to the show last week. I'm like, oh no. What did I say? No, actually, the owner of Penn Brewery was like, oh, so I listened to the show last week. I'm like, shit, what did I say about Penn Brewery?
Spectre's like that all the time. Like, I told him because I've been doing a lot of podcasts lately, which is great. I love podcasts. But I did one, and I was like, oh, yeah, I brought you up in a lot in this one. He was like, all good, I hope. I was like, all good, I promise. All good.
And then there's this one.
And then there's this one.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
See you soon, I'm sure.
Hi, Wrestling Dad. How are you?
That's everybody's Wrestle Dad.
That is my Wrestling Dad, 100%. I call him, I'm like, Dad, are you busy? Nope. Calls him, hello.
Again, if people want to see the New Japan shows, go to New Japan World. They're also available on pay-per-view on Triller, but I will say, fan of Triller, obviously. But if you go to New Japan World, pay the $10. It's not $10? It's not yen anymore, by the way. They fixed it so it's actually $9.99.
Wait, it's only $10? Say less.
Yeah, it's only $10, and you get like the shows from the past weekend. I think you do also get the American shows, like the San Jose show this weekend and everything too. But all those are on pay. Please also buy the pay-per-views on Triller, so my wife still gets work. But
I think I still have Triller. I don't know. Maybe I deleted it after November.
What happened? Oh yeah. I don't know what happened in November. Anyways, but no, there's a lot of good stuff there, and actually, yeah, if there's they have a lot of good promotion, like Wrestle Revolver's on there and stuff like that too.
I have seen that.
So
and a couple of GCW stuff.
Some of our back catalogs on there actually. So
some of the GCW stuff I think is on there too. I think I've seen it pop up here.
Yeah, GCW is still on their Triller Plus, I think. I
would like to get on a GCW show. To be fair, I would do that. Besides Bloodsport, I would like to get on just a regular GCW show.
Technically switched part of a GCW show.
Okay.
I would
like to face Megan. I think her name's Megan Bain. Like I like to face her. I think I saw her on GCW.
Yeah.
I might be getting her name wrong.
I'm not completely up on what's going on over there.
Me neither. I think I just saw Atticus just like putting skewers in her head.
Yeah. Oh, so saying hi, basically.
Yeah. Atticus, he's such a sweet.
Side note: how about Otis Coger's Mickey Mouse tattoo that was going around?
I did not see that.
It's a upper leg tattoo.
Well, because I've only seen him with long pants. I haven't seen him with shorts.
Exactly. Me too. And so how I understand why he gives such great hugs.
He's such a softie. It's crazy.
We're blowing his fucking gimmick up.
So back earlier when we were on live, when I said like Ohio people are built different because you said you're kind of scared of Youngstown, Ohio. They are built different as well, but they're also sweet. They're so
absolutely, sweet. Dude. The best shit is when I'm in. This has happened usually deathmatch shows that I have to work, and it's just like, oh fuck, it's all my Ohio friends. It's all those Cogers and Bobby Beverly and because we patched our shit up over that camera situation.
That's good.
Early on, and fucking Ricky Shane Page. It was always like they're always like the coolest crew back there. Like that's what like I'm doing a show in like fucking LA, and I'm just like, this is all fucking Matt Justice is here, and I'm just like, I know everybody.
So funny.
I know everybody, and I'm bullshitting with Jacob Fatu about his cousins.
funny story. Like when Justice jumped off the balcony, went up to him. This is when I was still.
Which time?
At the court time.
Which time?
Mark's court time.
You know how many times I filmed him jumping off a balcony?
This was like a couple years ago when he faced Bill Collier. He jumped off the balcony at Mark's court time.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if he's done it since, but we're gonna go. That's the last time I seen it.
10 years ago.
We're gonna go with that one. I think we'll say it was 2019, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. All right. Went up to him. He was walking. I was like, "How the fuck are you walking?" Went up to him and I was like, because he was Bill from Ohio. I was like, "Oh, I'm from Ohio too." We talked like for 20 minutes about Ohio. It was crazy.
He's very Ohio.
He's very Ohio.
Yes.
This is what I mean. We're built differently.
I feel like everybody from Ohio listens to like metal music, like heavy metal music.
Absolutely.
Every time I've gone to a car with somebody from Ohio,
absolutely,
they are playing some screamo shit. I'm just like,
you know what I listened to on the way here?
I'm like, we're gonna go hard. I like this.
You know what I listened to on the way here? Cannibal Corpse. Like it's
right,
insane, like,
right, exactly.
It's just insane.
Exactly.
I can show you my Spotify. It's crazy. But like, yeah, like even with the deathmatch stuff, like I was like, yeah, I'll do a deathmatch. Like even though Noir's like, please don't do it. Like I was like, even with that fans bring the weapons match at BCW, like they're like, we got to get you out somehow. I was like, why don't you wrap your knee in ball bar and hit me?
Shit, that happened, yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, the ball bar didn't happen because Super Oprah bumped it and got stuck.
Oh,
but still, I was like, I was like, that was my idea for. I was like, just wrap it in ball bar and hit me. Like I was completely down for it. Like I was like.
And you're in West Virginia. Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck. But like, I would do one death match, right? Because like, there's no art form behind it. There were some death matches that are like, yeah, okay, there's nothing behind this because you're just swinging shit.
Yeah.
But like, I think Atticus is killing it. Like he knows exactly what he's fucking doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I see him.
Absolutely.
But like, yeah, I would do one. This is Ohio people are just crazy. It's like we're fed corn, so we're just crazy.
Get a rock outside from her Ohio intern. Awesome. Well, anyways, we should probably get to first. Let's give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. We originally OG right up the street here in the Beachview neighborhood. If you're in Pittsburgh, they got way too many locations for me to even remember anymore because their expansion has been crazy.
It's really good.
But it's good to see what they've been doing. So go check them out at sliceonbroadway.com. Even if you're not in Pittsburgh, if you're coming through Pittsburgh, go hit them up for that. So, and thank you for those guys for supporting the show, feeding our guests here on the podcast evenings, the long podcast evenings. So it's time to find out. And please, chat room, let us know, what did you learn from wrestling this week? First of all, I want to hit up some comments here that have come through while we've been chatting. A little bit of updates and reminders here. First of all, True Prince Matt says, hell yeah, we need to see Lexus Synn on a Bloodsport show this year. Let's make that happen.
Hell yeah. Someone get in contact with Josh Barnett.
I'm going to get you out to Vegas.
I mean, I'm built from there.
There you go.
There you
go.
You know
Get to Sin City.
Sin City.
Okay, you got to do a photo shoot around Vegas then.
That is the goal.
That go down.
That is the goal.
GCW. Tina's reminding us that JCW's Hammerstein show is coming up on the January 19th. Also, a reminder, Progress and hey, my friends at Defy are on Triller, as well as House of Glory is over there as well. So that's
true.
good. I think most of those are on Triller Plus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is actually a really good deal for like some top level indie companies.
Especially if you just want something different to watch. You know?
Absolutely.
I tell people I'll watch any wrestling. Bad, good. Like I'll watch backyard wrestling. Just if I want to, if I'm in the mood, I'll put on some backyard wrestling and be like,
just love watch some bad wrestling.
I do.
It's part of it.
I do. Granted, sometimes I want to pull my hair out when I watch it, but if I'm like mellowed out, I'm like, okay, this is like, it's like a comedy.
You're not
right?
like Mikey Montgomery pulling me like, hey, I can do this. Like they fucked it up, but I can do this.
I'm like that too. Sometimes like if I think I can do it, I'm like, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I just texted my friend something today from Raw. Like it was a spot for that Rhea did. I was like, can I do this from a spot with somebody else that does something like this with this hook? And I'm like, I explained it. He's like, I don't see why not. I'm like, perfect.
Hey, it worked for Will Ospreay. You got inspired by all those Australian kids. Yeah. So why the fuck not?
Will Ospreay is killing it. Now, granted, he's not my type of wrestler because I'm not flippy dippy, so I don't
sure.
get to flippy dip. But like, he's still really fucking good. He's really funny too, because we were in the back, and he walked in from doing his promo. Shuts the door. All right, I need a smoke. Where's my marijuana? I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, what?
Bro would walk into the Warriors shows. I'm like talking to like the venue person about something, and then like they're walking him in because he's doing the main event in South Bend. And he's got like this fluffy coat on.
Absolutely.
And it was fucking cold in South Bend, by the way. So it wasn't just for show. And just like going on, whatever. Like he was always the happiest person at any show.
Super nice.
He was, fucking cool as hell. So like him and Thunder Rosa were like my favorite people running.
Thunder Rosa, I met her at the show. But
that's good.
My favorite
Mama Rosa.
My favorite people from actually like being at Dynamite that I met that were super nice was Darby, obviously. Prince Nana was super nice. So was Swerve.
Yeah,
I got a picture with Swerve. He was cool. Will Ospreay was sweet. So was Bobby Lashley, first person to shake my hand.
Nice.
I was like sick. And then the House of Black was there, and I got to shake their hand. Kind of like fangirled out, but I was like, oh my god.
I almost stole your name.
Yeah, well, there's a funny story behind that. That like from BC Steel, they are Matthews is my dad, my wrestling dad, quote unquote. And
does that mean Rhea's your mommy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're getting it. So and then Malachi and Brody are my wrestling uncles. And then there's Shayna's my aunt, and I'm like, what is happening? And Pete Dunne's in there somewhere because I used to do his finger bends and shit.
Nice.
So BC has made my whole family tree. So I was like fanning out, like, where's my family at? Because I was like, where's my family at? Like, aren't they booked? Like, what is happening? And then they're just sitting in the hallway. I'm like, oh, I get to shake their hands.
Anyways, what did everybody learn?
That also means that Selena Vega is in the wrestling family.
She is.
Oh.
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all the cats.
I love their cats. I follow them on Instagram. It's insane.
Was it Potamo?
Yes. There's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
There's a
They
lot.
have 7 of them.
But they're
I've seen that account
so
for a while. Dutters keeps sending me the story of Stone Cold Steve Austin and his cats.
Poncho and
I
Macho.
know who you're talking about. He's so cute though. What's his name? Poncho. He's so cute.
Poncho and Macho.
Poncho,
We got
what are
2
you
of
up
them,
to? Poncho's no selling me.
Someone made a meme. It was like, I just want to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin when I get older and just have cats.
I've always like dude has like an entire functional farm and does farm shit every day. I'm like, what are you doing this for? Why do you need to do this?
Well,
are you growing shit and selling it? Is like Stone Cold rolling down to the farmer's market somewhere and like fucking selling corn?
Hey,
like
I got some corn here to sell. What was it? What?
What?
Well, I know his old branch. They did deer there.
Okay.
I know
And so he hunted deer, fed them, and then I think they took a lot of the meat to like homeless shelters and
so
like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're not making money. Like, you don't need to make money off a farm.
Well, I mean,
But-
I'm about to say, like, he can get the extra money and feed Poncho, you know?
That
Get
is
more
true.
ponchos and
That
munchos.
is true. I mean, that's why I say every time I say, hey, buddy, I'm leaving so I can get you more kibble.
Yeah, you know?
Sorry.
The cat doesn't meow. He just says, what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the dog just looks at me, so it's like, okay. Anyways, from the chat room, Wheels learned that mommy is always on top, and I like the Raw announce table. Yeah, it's got LEDs on it. It's got ground effects.
Yeah. That poor announce table got abused last night. I said, wow.
It did.
They said y'all can bump on it as much as you want. Not one for one person's match. Nope. It was just getting abused.
It didn't collapse for anybody, right?
Nope.
No.
I think they upgraded to sturdier tables.
Oh, wait, there's like the little pin thing.
I think Pat McAfee left the pin in there.
Yeah, he left the pin in like every time. He didn't tell him.
He didn't want somebody to break.
They're just like, it's new. We don't know where it's at.
Where's the
gimmick? Where's the gimmick?
I was waiting for it to break on the pedigree on the table, but I was like, oh, it didn't break. Wow. I am the table.
Matt learned that he learned 2 this week. First, learned that he loves the Andrew Palace at 880 Wrestling, and secondly, learned that how amazing to see Tatiana win the TNF championship. Man, that crowd was completely in for it. That was good. That was. Listen, I had every doubt about that show functionally because I was still putting some things together leading into it, and there's one thing that broke right before it actually. But as soon as I saw how it looked in the first shot, I'm like, oh my god, this fucking show. We have something here.
I watched it back on a replay.
Yeah. It like I don't think the vibe in there was crazy, and we are going to fix things, including the heat We're not opening the garage door.
Yeah, I saw the
we were
steam
making. We
coming
made
off.
a. We made no. That was no. Toddy lost control of the fog machine.
Oh, well, I thought from the camera angle I saw it was Nick's was double down and so was Tati. Like they were just like hovered over.
Yeah.
And I thought I just saw the steam coming off their back.
Oh, there might have too. So yeah, it was getting kind of colder. But we're gonna bump that thing up to 70. Listen. I'm going in first on Thursday, leaving the shit closed and turning up the heat. Well,
I say, because if I go there and it's cold, you can guarantee I'll be bitching.
If it's cold, then we don't have a heater that works, and I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah. So it's also a large space. It's such a large space.
Is it?
So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a warehouse. It's just.
Well, I mean, it's an old skate thing. So
yeah.
It has to be big. Yeah.
So, but no, I'm really happy with how things turned out. I mean, it's always like. I guess that's what I learned is I learned a lot of the value of the refresh. You know what I mean? Like, again, we talk a lot leading out of the old place at New Kent about like, and I've had these discussions in the recent months. I was like, guys, we need to do X, Y, and Z because we are just like, when you do the same thing every week, it becomes rote to be. This show is a perfect example. You need a refresh. You need to try different things. You need to get different minds and people in and everything like that, right? And it becomes a slog, especially if it's something that we're just doing, it's a training show, it's this, kind of thing. And man, I think, because we were always worried, can the vibe come with us from New Kent? Mm-hmm. And I think it did. And I think it's a new vibe. I actually talked to Palace mentioning that. I'm just like, because Palace is a guy I've known forever. Yeah.
Palace will tell you straight up if it's
I know he won't bullshit me, and he's from a different kind of show that I filmed him on several times in different promotions, and I was like, dude, how was the vibe when you got out here? And you see, like, they put the matches individually up because I want people to see what the show looked like. Yeah. And like it's him standing and walking straight out in the crowd, and he takes a moment, and I'm just like, okay, that's a fucking vibe right there. Yeah. And they hate him here. He jumped Johnny. He's it's a fuck Palace kind of vibe, and I love seeing the different side of him that I haven't gotten to see much of. I know he's been doing it kind of different places, but not where I've been at. No. So that's been really cool. So I learned again the value of the refresh. Like this show needed it. We're going to be refreshing one of our other shows here in the coming weeks as I find some time. That's that. I'm not. I guess my resolution is I'm not starting anything new. I'm double down and refreshing things that we were doing to make them go,
Keep them fresh.
Yeah. And that applies for a lot of things I'm not going to talk about on the show too. So anyways, Podner, what'd you learn?
I would say I learned two things. First of all, if you're coming out, you got to be careful for that contact tie that like Drew McIntyre had.
What? What was this?
That's what Drew tweeted out, that he got a contact eye coming to the ring after Jay Uso.
From Travis Scott smoking.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's just walking around LA, to be quite honest. Like you actually California.
I was waiting for Jay to take a hit, to be fair. Just take it neat. Just
we're on Netflix.
We're on Netflix. Someone was like, who would be the first F-bomb? And it was, from what I saw, it was Rhea, like not like on a mic, but like she grabbed Liv and was like, you fucked up. And I was like, first F-bomb.
There you go. There was something, I know they bleeped something that Rock said when he first came out too. When he said something to somebody offhand. So, but they, obviously,
I must not have caught that.
I think it's only TV PG-14ish, so like they're
not,
still going to mute it. But it's not. I don't think they're going to mute the crowd anymore.
Hopefully not, because
that was so bad.
I would always think my TV was broken sometimes.
Yep.
Like, oh no.
Yeah. Or stream was broken.
On top of like whatever I was DVRing on, would just randomly drop audio on top of it.
Oh no.
Just anytime apparently. And I'm just like, okay, I guess. And I'm just like, I'm used to watching the shitty version of a show, So I'm excited for Netflix to have everything.
Well, the other thing I learned was it was not a good week to be a WWE Women's Champion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. With 3 title changes this week.
Tiffy time. 3 titles. What's the third?
Tonight.
Oh.
I don't even know who's going for it. Oh, wait, Julia, right? Oh, no. Wow. Okay. All right. That's fun. I was going to watch that later. Thank you. That's all right.
Spoilers.
I know. Thanks. Spoilers.
But you don't know how.
I don't know how. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. We know Tatiana won.
Or how long
you don't know how Tatiana won. So it was surprising. So anyways, yeah, no, I'm with you on that then.
Yeah, between Tiffy and Rhea winning it back and the thing that happened tonight, that's your 3 women's champions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Women's
That's your
wrestling
3
is hot
main
right now.
women's
I like
champions.
it.
And of course, that means the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion is
Chelsea Green.
our true American hero.
Yes, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
I also learned that Chelsea Green is God's gift of professional wrestling.
She
Oh my
is.
God. I love any time a Canadian gets a U.S. championship and declares himself America.
Absolutely.
And she's backed up by Piper Niven, who's Scottish.
She's
right?
Scottish, yes.
Yeah, Scottish. She's Scottish.
Talking about how American she is.
She's just
And-
there because Chelsea tells her to.
But honestly, one thing also is for the celebration they had, how good Piper looked dressed up. They it was like, you're going to dress elegantly and nicely, and we're not used to that with when WWE has their women wrestlers come out.
Yeah.
In street clothes. They're not normally dressed. It's not fitted very good, or she looked like she was going to a ball or a the golden or some kind of awards event.
Yeah, no, the high marks for that last week. I thought that was so much fun. Or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. That was last. I don't know. Everything meshes
Last
together.
week, it was last. Yeah.
Whatever. I stayed up very late this weekend. Alexis, what did you learn recently?
So I'm gonna piggyback off you with the refresh because that's really good. But I'm also gonna go with what I said last night, and I posted on my personal Facebook that how wrestling is amazing sometimes. With Raw last night, I literally saw like my first ever favorite wrestler with my current favorite wrestler, and it was just like this is like wrestling can be amazing sometimes. It's just crazy because you wouldn't think 2 people like that would be in the same area, same segment, anything, right? And that goes for not just WWE, like any like show. Sometimes we'll do that where it's like, okay, wrestling's awesome. So like you gotta like with the refresh, yes, change is good for everything. I think it will be a good era for WWE. I feel like Netflix will be good for them. It'll be a great new start for the new year, with the new champions, all this stuff, the new look, and then like just how being a fan of wrestling, you might have your ups and downs of wrestling, but you'll have stuff like what happened last night, and just a really cool like shot with them doing the thing. I'm like, okay, wrestling's pretty fucking cool. Wrestling's pretty fucking cool.
I love it. Anybody else from the chat room? I think we're good there.
Well, just that there I see from the chat from an Ava Brooks.
Oh,
hey,
saying,
Ava.
I think we need a rematch for that title.
Ava, I would not disagree with you. Step up.
The heat on the show in the chat room right now.
Me and Ava are good. Let's step up. You're somebody that want to wrestle 2025. Let's make it happen. Someone out there, Rise, RSW, anybody, doesn't matter where it's at. Sign it.
Tell me where you're coming up in the very near future.
With promotions currently, I'm going to have two RSW dates this month, and I have the VCW on, I believe it's the 24th, which is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I have a couple things for February. I just can't remember the dates off the top of my head, but it's more RSW. I'll probably be at the 880 show on the Friday. Who knows? not even me.
Probably, maybe.
Probably. I'm trying to wrestle a lot, so I'm just a little bit everywhere. You just follow I post more on my Instagram, but you can follow me on my Facebook too, because I post there too, so you can see what I'll be doing. But I have this Saturday coming up with RSW.
Awesome. Go check it out. Thank you, Lexus Synn, the Timu Rhea Ripley, or however.
Always would not change it.
Or wait, what was the thing that I read at the top of the show?
7-foot muscle mommy.
Yeah, there you go.
Who bathes herself in milk, honey, and Twinks. What's not to love?
There you go.
What's not to love?
Go check it out. Check out our matches over on indiewrestling.us. We'll make sure some of those more individual ones get out there in the we don't have any singles matches with you on AEW, do we?
Actually, I'm going to talk to you. Can I get that match with me and Pagasa from the VCW
show
show last year?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll get that hooked up with you. So,
hell yeah.
But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mayhem. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then
Show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.